Shalom everybody, Daniel from Ancient Biblical Oils. Hope you're all well. I thought I'd just get on here quickly and make a quick video on a controversial subject, right? It seems that some of the stuff that Ancient Biblical Oils does is controversial, but we're used to the space. Why? Because 6-7 years ago when we started doing what we are doing, using oils and incense was a controversial space. However, we believe that the scripture says, my people perish for lack of knowledge, right? And it's the knowledge, that information gap that needs to be closed, and then all things start to make sense. Okay, so what's the controversy? CBD, right, is the controversy, and we're hearing via the grapevine that there are people out there that are concerned that there's CBD products in our range, right? Now the thing is, all CBD products in South Africa to be sold legally cannot have THC in them. What is THC? THC is the stuff that actually makes you high. Okay, so all that stuff has been removed from this product. All that you have left is that which it is that is beneficial to your body from a health and wellness perspective. Okay, now there's two reasons why we combine CBD into our product. Number one, CBD has healing properties on its own. Why? The human body has a cannabinoid system, right? The human body was created to absorb or to interact with CBD. In fact, anything that has effect on a human body, the body has been designed to interact with. Okay. Now, though the body has been designed to interact with all sorts of different things, alcohol, for instance, it is the misuse or abuse of alcohol that will be the issue. Right? So we take our moral standing from the scripture. Scripture is not against wine. All right? Don't shoot the messenger. Go and read the actual text. You'll see it says that I gave you wine to gladden your heart. It says that those who are suffering from high levels of stress must drink to forget their problems, right? In the Proverbs. But when you abuse the gift, whatever it is, food, gluttony, that's the sin. You abuse the alcohol, that's the sin. You abuse the sex, this beautiful gift that's been given to make covenant marriage, right? That's the sin. So if you abuse cannabis, that's an issue. However, in this form, there is no way to abuse it. Right? There is nothing in here that will alter your mental state. However, with that said, right, we believe that the scripture says that we must have equal weights in judgment. What does that mean? When we judge anything, we need to make sure that we're actually judging righteously with equal weights. Why is that an issue? It's an issue because there are so many painkillers that are based on opium. Right, opioid. If you do a Google on the opioid crisis, you'll see so many people addicted to pain-killing meds because they've actually derived from opium. Now, if you're not going to use a cannabis-based product because it's linked to cannabis, then you shouldn't be using any painkiller products which it is that are derived from opium. Right? If you're against cannabis because it affects your mental state, then you shouldn't be using anything that has anything to do with alcohol in its process. And you will find there are thousands of things that we use every single day, medicines and other things, which it is that alcohol is involved in the process of its manufacture. Right? With this whole thing that's been going on in the world and the sanitizers, so many of the sanitizers are alcohol based. Right? Your perfume is alcohol based, right? So if you're not going to use this because it is linked to something which it is that can alter your mental state, then you can't use opioid based painkillers. You can't use anything that's based on alcohol. Right? Now I believe that that's not the wisest position to have. Right? If you're in massive pain, I would say start off with the natural stuff. If the natural stuff's not working, then I would say go and get the opioid based painkiller. Right? If you got broken bones or whatever the case may be, and you have to have a major surgery take place on your body, I would say accept the what is it called? The anesthesia, whatever it is that those drugs are. Right? All the things in pharmaceuticals or even the natural stuff, what we call actives, are drugs. Drugs are not food, right? So we don't introduce drugs to the human body except when we need to. Okay? Our health should actually come from what it is that we eat. And then when we're sick and we've adjusted what it is that we eat, we then turn to drugs or actives, frankincense, myrrh, whatever the case may be. Some drugs are less dangerous for the human body and others are very dangerous. But when we treat something, we weigh out the benefit versus the risk. And we only use whatever active, even frankincense, right? If you need to eat a tablespoon of it every hour for 8 hours to achieve a certain health benefit, then we have to do it. However, you can't continue doing that for a month, right? It's going to have a negative effect on your body. Same with using opioids or using real cannabis with the THC, etc., etc. You got to weigh out the risk versus the benefit. Okay, and with this, there's almost zero risk. But in fact, with regards to the idea of saying that something will happen to you from a mental perspective, zero risk. All you have is the positives if you don't overdose on it, right? And if you overdose on it, it's not going to do anything to you mentally either, right? It may cause overload on your body with regards to your liver and your detoxing system, which anything has the ability to actually do that. Okay, so don't be afraid of the cannabis, all right? Don't be afraid of anything. The only thing that can separate you from the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is sin. What is sin? That which is defined in the Torah, the writings of Moses. Anything else that is not within the writings of Moses is not sin. It is a tradition of men. And you are welcome. Traditions are good things, right? The only problem with traditions, when traditions now then cause people to be in bondage, when the law has not made something a rule, then tradition comes on and says that you must obey this thing because we're saying so, right? Because we feel that it's more righteous to whatever. Then the tradition becomes an issue, right? So with that said, we are still continuing to make our original ancient biblical oil blends. So those will be available, right? But those wheaties that are meeting specific health issues and need options which it is that are stronger or have a greater ability, then we've created stuff like this, right? And it will not do anything to you psychoactively. You will be fine when you take it. Your body will reap whatever benefits it is that Abba Father created in cannabis. All right. So I hope that was interesting. We're open to discussion. If you have any comments, please put the comments below. We're going to have other interesting CBD products that are coming out soon, ingestibles, etc., and some for pets as well. Okay. So anyway, love you all. Blessings. Shalom.